Much better.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are on the road to start the new season, off to Buffalo to take on the Bills in one of the top Week 1 matchups. Josh Allen ready to see if he can build off his breakout season. The Miami Dolphins head north to start 2021, taking on division rival New England right out of the gate, and the buzz around Foxborough is going to be off the charts because the Mac Jones era is officially about to begin. The New England Patriots don't have to go very far Week 2 as they draw the Jets of New York, who are hoping that Zach Wilson can play like second half Wilson and not the version they saw in the first half. The Chargers are at home for Week 2. Time to play in front of Bolt fans in a regular season game at SoFi Stadium for the first time. And what a way to break in their new digs, welcoming in America's team, whose fan base must be wondering, didn't Dak Prescott suffer a terrible injury last year? New York Jets head west for Week 3, landing in Denver, where they will face an orange crush of fans who are thinking, forget 12, we have Teddy. Bridgewater as Bronco country fired up after dropping 300-plus yards, 2 TDs, putting up a rating over 120.
Offense has been magical.
The Philadelphia Eagles are at home for Week 4, hoping to get back to 500, but they'll have to hand the Kansas City Chiefs a third straight loss to do it, which sounds crazy, but they suffered a crazy sort of loss last week. The Pittsburgh Steelers are off to Lambeau this week to visit Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, but Pittsburgh beware, Fred wasn't packing, and the old guy who lives in this neighborhood has long hair and is definitely armed. The New England Patriots head southwest this week off to Houston to face the Texans, who, to put it mildly, could really use better production from their QB. The Miami Dolphins
it's Mom's London
right east this week, which is rare for them, off to jolly old England. They'll meet up with the London Jaguars. I like to assume that's what they're known by over there in the pubs. The Jags have built a nice little following across the Atlantic, and that following will get their first up-close and personal look at Jacksonville's #1 pick, who's been looking a little more like Trevor Lawrence lately and less like Joey. What a Week 6 matchup this is. The Baltimore Ravens are at home and welcoming in the AFC West, division leaders, but it ain't the Chiefs. Let us introduce you to the QB trying to steal the spot as the next Manning to Mahomes Brady, Herbie the Love Bug. The New England Patriots are back at home this week, America's team coming to pay a visit. And how cocky are these Cowboys right now? 4-1, riding one of the hottest offenses in football. The rested New York Jets are off to New England for a little rookie-on-rookie action, and Patriots fans, this is why you should feel so excited about Mac Jones.
This is my team's
The Chicago Bears are off to Tampa Bay this week. The Buccaneers are waiting them, coming off some extra rest, which their secondary definitely needed, but maybe not their QB. Tom Brady hasn't just been grooving in the heart, he's been grooving on the gridiron to start 2021. Delight anyone? So he doesn't need any extended breaks cooling him off.
I had small bumps around my nose and my forehead, but ever since I started using Thayers, my skin has been so smooth.
How strong can we play today, man? Strong.
The LA Chargers are at home this week after taking last week off. The New England Patriots making the long trek across the country and coming in hot. Like hot as a plate of mac and cheese. The New England Patriots take the buzz they're generating to Carolina this week for a pivotal game with the Panthers, who can hang with just about anyone when their pass rush has it going. The Cleveland Browns head to the East Coast this week, off to New England to take on a Patriots team on a 3-game win streak, and they'll need their run defense to step up in this one, which, lucky for them, did that last week. The Seattle Seahawks head to Lambeau this week, drawing the Green Bay Packers for Week 10, Seattle hoping to get its head chef back in the kitchen for this game. The Indianapolis Colts are roadbound this week, off to Buffalo for a big-time showdown with the Bills, whose secondary last week looked like they were in the audience at an Oprah Winfrey show taping. Levi Wallace, you get a pick. The Las Vegas Raiders will spend Thanksgiving in Dallas this year, taking on a Cowboys bunch, sort of hobbling into this one. Hard to know what you're dealing with them offensively. The version left standing with Dak Prescott last week left him with a rating under 60, just 216 yards, no TDs, 2 picks.
We got the whole world watching
The
us.
Tennessee Titans are headed to New England this week for a big-time matchup with the first-place Patriots, and the Titans have to first figure out how they are going to move the ball on what has become a beast of a defense. The LA Chargers head to Cincinnati for Week 13, facing a Bengals squad that has taken on a new look, and their new look could play a prominent role in this matchup. Joe Mixon last week going for over 160 yards on the ground, 2 scores, and some more sweet sellies. The Pittsburgh Steelers are at home taking on the top team in the AFC, the Baltimore Ravens, who will look to take advantage of a huge mismatch that appears to exist on the front lines when they're on defense. The Steelers' O-line seeming to have more and more trouble holding up as each week has passed. The Las Vegas Raiders are off to KC this week. Chiefs are hot, 5 straight wins. But to be specific, it's the defense that's been caliente. Secondary locked up Teddy B last week, picked him twice, held him under 6.5 yards per attempt.
Let's go get a dub. Wait, I'll tell you what to do.
Buffalo Bills fly south for the winner this week, off to catch some of those Tampa Bay Rays. Not the baseball team, but they will be trying to catch some Bucks while they're down there. Epic showdown between Buffalo's secondary and Tampa's passing attack. And it was a Bucks passing attack that finally got back on track last week. Tom Brady had plenty of yards, lots of touchdowns. The Atlanta Falcons are off to see their old rival in San Francisco. The 49ers back over 500, and Atlanta has to come up with a way to slow down George Kittle. Not just because he's put up 150-plus yards in back-to-back games. Rematch time. Buffalo Bills and New England Patriots, round 2. Not sure what version of Mother Nature will show up for this one. Last time, she got involved. The one takeaway from the wind tunnel game that has to be accounted for this time around, Buffalo's ability to stop the run. The Pittsburgh Steelers are on the road taking on the Kansas City Chiefs this week and taking on a Patrick Mahomes who might be looking more like Patrick Mahomes finally. The Jacksonville Jaguars are in New England this week to see if they can trip up the Patriots. New England needs this win more than Jacksonville does at this stage, so let's identify the 3 primary reasons the Pats should take it. The New England Patriots head south for Miami for a big season ender with the Dolphins. These two met week 1. Miami won 17-16. May as well have been last year. I guess it was, so nothing more to rehash. Let's start with Tua and that Pats pass defense. New England's secondary, 3 more interceptions last week. Pittsburgh Steelers are headed to Baltimore for their final regular season game with the Ravens. Both teams still alive, but both need a lot of help. Ben Roethlisberger has to try and play after ending last game as if it was his last.